everyone. This is Scrappy Kathy, and I'm so excited to be joining in today to the Mercy Tiara Around the World blog hop. And I'm combining that blog hop. What I'm doing for that blog hop is my lift of this Friday's weekly lift at Scrap Squad, and I'm going to use the same video for the blog hop that publishes at the same time, 10 o'clock on Sunday morning Eastern US time. And it will be both a Scrap Squad Sunday episode and a Mercy Tiara Around the World blog hop. So I think the point, at least the point that I am taking with the Around the World blog hop is most of us are in a position where we are hesitant to or just simply can't travel to all the wonderful places that we regularly dream of going. And so we're gonna visit these places in our scrapbook page. And this is the page I'm going to lift. This is the Scrap Squad lift. It's by Audrey Yeager as a design team project for the Hip Kit Club, and it's just absolutely awesome. I want you to, this is some test color squishing that I'm trying to see if that's going to work for my page for this area right here where she did some kind of swaths of watercolor. And it looks like the maybe the tags were watercolor too. I just love this page. But what I'm going to do, I've been, as many of you know, for my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit, I've been using all Vicki Boutin products. And occasionally I've mixed in, just because I'm kind of still hoarding, Let's Wander, the latest collection. I'm digging back in and using a lot of the older ones and then maybe mixing in a few things. So I think this one's going to be almost entirely Let's Wander. I think I'm not using anything on here that isn't Let's Wander. So I have already picked out from my little tub of ephemera here, and the Let's Wander is a lot of this stuff at the front, and then there's some at the back. And I have picked out the ephemera that I want on the left side, the kind of tag type elements, if you will. I need to get some ties for the tags. I'm probably going to pull some, I have a drawer full of tags, and I've got a lot of these just tags with strings on them. I'm going to pull those out, and I will not make you watch me do that on camera, but I'll have them out, and every tag that goes here is going to get tied with one of these strings that I will take off a manila tag. So that's me getting my my ingredients prepped for this little recipe I'm going to cook up. So based on the things I chose, I selected some colors of Distress Oxide ink. And I don't have all the colors represented. There's a nice green in here, and there's a lot of kind of craft color, and I may, actually, I have a color. I use it to distress or ink edges. It's Gathered Twigs. It's just kind of a really good, it would be nice mixed into this, given the things I'm planning to use. And because I'm doing that, I may just, if my embellishments don't already have an inky, crafty looking edge, then I think I should give them one, particularly the tags, not so much the images like the luggage or the airplane or the knapsack, if you will. So I just love these tags. Let's see if there's anything else. Here's a tag. Travel is my therapy, and Lord knows these days we all need a little travel therapy. Okay, put that there. I think that's all I'm going to do. I may, just so that it shows up on the white, I may go ahead and do this to kind of give it some added dimension. I'm going to prop it up on foam, but if it has the inked edges, that just really kind of makes it stand out against the white background. Okay, so let me put this away. You can see what the top of it looks like, and it's amazing that oxidizing that occurs. Oxidation, I guess you call it. I just kind of store it like this with that pad on there, and it's got layers and layers and layers. So that kind of shows you, it illustrates what kind of effects you can get by layering that ink. But that's not what I'm going to do today, so I don't know why I'm talking about it. Okay, let me get all this stuff off of the page. Another thing I have done ahead of time, if you'll notice in the original, there's this vertical strip of washi tape, and she's stitched over it, and already has the tags tucked in under, and the stitching goes over and holds on the tags. I'm not going to do that because you know me and stitching don't necessarily mesh. Oh, by the way, I'm solving, I think this is 321 maybe of CSI's cases, and for this one for once I'm not really going with this color scheme. I'm choosing the solid white background, some watercolor patterns which will be done with water reactive ink, so it's kind of like watercolors, summer themed elements, and it's about a hobby of mine, which is traveling, and I will have some journaling about kind of how these times have affected us in that. So those are the influences that I'm going to be using in this layout. I have chosen a washi tape that's very similar to hers. Mine are little kind of squarely aligned dots. Hers are kind of diamond shaped. I have taken a branding strip from this paper that has those on the back. I've used a lot of these. And I've added some washi tape that came from, I think it was Color Kaleidoscope. It's just black. It says take notes, snapshots, memory, important document, snapshots, or whatever, all memory keeping related things. I have cut a strip of my giant foam tape. I've cut it in half. This is the other half, so that I could mount it in a way that the open part is on this side. So as I add elements into the mix, I can slide them up under, and it kind of looks like this is glued over. And as I was playing with the papers, I found this branding strip from this, which is possibly the most beautiful sheet of paper I've ever seen in my life. It's got it's a wave pattern, sure, but underneath that wave pattern are splatters of ink and paint, and it's just gorgeous. You almost have to, you could look at it all day and see new and fun things. No idea how I'm going to use that, but I certainly need another sheet or 12 of it, because on the other side are these incredible sunglasses images, and we're kind of getting into the color that makes my heart sing over here, this lime green. So not going to use that today, not using anything other than the branding strip. And what I think I'm going to do is maybe put that down a little bit askew there, and then put this one a little bit askew this way. But we'll see. First thing I'm going to do is the ink on there. Let me put this aside. I'm going to try to do this kind of right in this area where I know the photos and the journaling, and it'll kind of peek through those things. So I have a just an acetate. It's a page protector, and I'm going to, and I've got 2 sheets. I've got, as you can see, warm colors and one cool color. I'm going to kind of spread the warm colors on here, just not a big spread, just kind of a little brush with the ink there. And I'll do those, I'll apply those first, and then I can do the blue. I don't want the blue getting mixed up with the orange kind of on the sheet. Add a little more of that red. There's a fair amount of red in there. And I'm going to call, for purposes of this, I'll call this khaki a warm color. It is, in fact, a warm color. But, okay, so now I'm going to just kind of scrunch this up. This is a piece of a fairly flexible plastic bag that scrap supplies come in, and I have way too many of them. I'm going to spray a little spritz of water on each color. I'm going to start with the lighter color and this yellow here, and just kind of do some dots around. And then I'll go to the orange, maybe have that there. I'll go to this pink, which now has some orange in it. And I'll go to this red and maybe have some, it's kind of a dull red. I may mix it with some brown here. Okay. So there is what I'm doing with that. I'm going to maybe kind of scrunch it around. But my main thing I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this paper towel roll over it and kind of dry it so that none of it comes up when I'm applying the blue. I'm also going to wipe this off, but just to be safe, I'm going to turn it over so that the blue is on a fresh, clean side of it. And let me do a little more blue than I did of those colors, each of those colors. I'm going to do, maybe to use a different texture, I may actually use this paper towel. We'll see how it looks when I do it on here. Let's kind of, it's a little different kind of texture. I'd like a little more color to show, and I think the towel is absorbing some of that color, so I won't use that. When I go here, and right in here. And I can overlay these other colors with the blue because now I know that none of it will come up. I'm going to kind of go all the way to the end of the page. I don't think they do that in the original, but I may be covering, the photos are going to kind of go right over in this area. I have a pretty big title, and then I have some journaling. So not a lot of that's going to show, to be honest. I may run it up and down the line a little bit to increase its visibility. Okay, I'm going to toss that aside. Gonna wipe this off, and now I'm gonna do the same thing with the blue to kind of flatten it out, and that's actually what this does. It makes it look more like watercolor, less like ink. I spritzed it with water so it's wet enough to get a you'll get some variations in there so that it kind of looks like some nice watercolor effects. Okay, now let's get those vertical lines. I'm going to go with that a little, like I said, a little bit at an angle, and it's going to be flat. No foam underneath propping it up. I'm gonna kind of do that. So you have a little bit more, you have almost the whole thing showing. So it's kind of going off at an angle. Look how pretty those colors are with these colors. That's brilliant, as my British friends say. I love when those things kind of work out. Okay, this one has words that you have to read. I generally would probably read them from bottom to top. It's probably silly, but I may do I want it askew that way or this way? I'm gonna still go with more showing at the top. Okay, that's not exactly. Okay, I'm actually going to turn it around because I need the open end to be facing this way, and I didn't really think about my okay. So there's that center line. Now let's organize these things. Some will be on foam and some will not. I want to, let me kind of toss the pictures, kind of, maybe this way, if I, and that. We'll see when we get there. Right now I'm going to work on this. Okay, so first thing I wanted to put on here was this stack of luggage. I think that's the perfect image, and I may overlay it with a ship or an airplane or something. So it's going to go flat, and the next layer, and I'll let it be right up near the top. The next layer underneath that will be a tag, and it's this cool one with the and since a photo is probably going to go right here, I can actually pull this out to make it come out a little bit farther. I'm going to put this one on some foam, and and I'm leaving space there. Let me actually go ahead and tie this on. I don't have to get real sophisticated with it. But I do want the texture of those strings kind of out in the world. Okay, there. And I'll just have to let that guide where I put my photos. Okay, next I want to do I thought I'd do this banner-y thing because it has a little bit different profile out there. Now, if I'm putting it this way, the red line's at the bottom, and that I'm going to write something on there depending on how much of it shows. And the next thing I wanted to put down was maybe this, and then it's gonna overlay another tag like so, and then I need this one, and I really don't want this one right up next to that. So I'm gonna put 2 tags in a row here, and I'm glad I kind of thought that through because that'll give me a couple layers before I use that blue again. Okay, that's not a full length of the string, but that's okay. The strings don't have to be the same length, and I thought I might tie at least one of them in a bow. So this is going to go under here and kind of down in towards here to give it a little to have it end in a different place. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. And if I do that, that makes it, it puts it up on some foam. So that actually would be good. I may not do journaling there, actually. Since it's up like that, I may take advantage of that and overlay something like this airplane. I like that. Or I could do the knapsack kind of offset like that, but I don't really want to hide the words here. So I think I'm going to do this, and I will do a strip of foam so the airplane can be yet another layer on top of that. I've become very conscious of adhesives that I'm using since I am introducing a Scrap Academy topic on glues and adhesives. I'm gonna do this, and I'll put it down over that red line so it's not smack dab in the middle and it's kind of overlapping the center line here. I just love that center line, but you know what I think I would like better is if I had a black line along here, kind of just doodled on. Okay, that makes it stand out better to me. Let me kind of put that down. I like that. Just a tiny little touch that that makes me happy. Okay, this I wanted to. I really want this vellum map in here. So I may get this guy. I'm gonna mount it just directly on here using my stapler. Because I really don't want to cover any of it up. I've got some blue ink over here on this side of the thing, so I'm going to have to make that look like it was intentional, right? Okay, that kind of just adds a little bit of detail with the staple there. And my knapsack now looks like it might want to go here, right? It's a purse up there kind of by the luggage. Okay, so that's there. This isn't... I'll have to save this for something else. Let me see if I have anything. Let's see in my stickers if there's anything that would be good to go there. How about these tennis shoes? And I'll let that go all the way to the end of the paper. I want it here. I seems like I need something across underneath here. I didn't do as good a job of planning as I maybe should have. There's this little map, but I don't want to lose the okay. Can I do this here and then the... Okay, this suitcase has been cut when I was cutting some scallops out of the paper on the other side. So, let me fussy cut it out. It isn't all there, and I'm not really going to need all of it. I kind of want to cut it maybe just right in the middle of the green and pink tags, luggage tags there. Whoops, I've got to... Let's do that. And now I can fussy cut it out so that it has that straight line. I thought this was going to be a nice short video because I thought I had everything I needed. I just kind of did a, not my fussy cutting scissors, I can tell. And I can use this as another layer under something else that'll look like I've got a suitcase hidden from view, and only you and I know that the rest of the suitcase is on a different layout. Okay, this, I'm gonna maybe kind of do that, but the shoes will cover that up. Okay, I'm gonna put this here. That's another piece of luggage. I'm losing my tennis shoes here. Let me make sure that's gonna work. That's kind of what that's gonna look like. I like that. Okay, we'll bring it all the way down to the end here and kind of add that like that, and I'm gonna raise up this vellum so that it's kind of overlapping the tennis shoes. That's perfect. Now let me put this on some foam, and I've got my knapsack on there. And then we can work on the photo side of things. That should go quickly, I would think. Okay, I kind of want it bridging these two tags. This one has a map. Well, no, it actually is a name, address, kind of a ledger ticket. I haven't. Oh, this has the map. That does show. Okay, so this is good. Okay, that's nice. I could use Explore, but I think I'm gonna go with vacation mode. I do want to cut those tags off, or the strings off, where there are bends, and I didn't like the bends. Okay, I've got this, which is not an element I intended to use, but we'll see what happens. Okay, now on both sides of this, I need some ink splatters. And I'm going to kind of lay this down. I do not mind ink splatters getting on embellishments. I don't like them on photos. I'm going to do it before the photos. So, my very last thing I'm going to put on is these copper Nouveau crystal drops. They were part of an amazing piece of Happy Mail that I got from Sharon Barrickman, and I was so thrilled. Okay, there. I'm trying to look for the original. The original's here. There's some really large drops, but those are going to be these. There's a couple fairly large ones there. Okay, that's a good strong bit there. Okay, and I'm using here, I've gone back to my Diane Reevely Dilutions Black Marble Shimmer Spray. So when these dry, there will be some shimmer to them. And of course I got some on my cutting mat, and all efforts to keep my cutting mat clean have gone out the window lately. I've been spritzing and spraying and painting and stuff with reckless abandon. Okay, let's not have that move one of those around. Now, I'm gonna see where the rest of these things go. I want the title to bridge over onto this side. And that's a good idea because right here you get to see where this pink tag doesn't come all the way to the end. So if I have the V resting there on that tag, then I'm good. So let me put foam everywhere except that leftmost part. I'll put some down here. Anyway, I have on Saturday, my first lesson goes live in Scrap Academy, and it's an exhaustive review of the adhesives I had in my stash, or have in my stash. And I just want you to know that making that video was a horrible, colossal mess on my desk at the time that I went through those and talked about what I liked and didn't like and what I use each one for, or don't use, as the case may be. And I have since done a major reshuffling of all my adhesives, and they're very neat, and I know how to get to them all, but I've still gone back to and am using the ones that were always go-to. Okay, so for my photos, I wanted photos, one photo of us traveling with one of the grandkids, and this is John and me and Katie in Paris, the day we were leaving Paris and heading to Brussels. And this was, and then there's, you know, and this was a flying trip. This is a road trip. This is at Mount Rushmore, and it's kind of looking down the hall with, it has all the state flags and the plaques with information about each of the states. And so there's a road trip, a flying trip, just the two of us alone, one with the grandkids. So it kind of represents all the travel that we wish we could do and can't anymore. So I'm gonna just see, I need to have some foam ready to put over on, let's see, the photo's gonna, in some cases, overlap this. So I need, my foam needs to be over on this right side. I think the paper that I know the paper that I'm using here to back the photos is the honeybee paper that was from Wildflowers and Honey, and it's not from Let's Wander. So I didn't have it all from Let's Wander. So I want to kind of slide it in there, and it's kind of sitting down there. That's good. I think that's gonna work, and it has those overlaps in areas that don't affect your ability to view the picture. It doesn't cover anybody's eyes or anything like that. So maybe have it a little more of an angle. There we go. Okay, now this one, I'm gonna slide under there and maybe have it at an angle like that. Okay. I don't want to, there we go. We're in the sky there, overlap, but you can still see the monument. Okay. The journaling, I always like sliding the, ideally I could slide it in here, but then you can't read it. So I may, just for the heck of it, bring it down here, or put it at another angle. I'm gonna have it kind of parallel to the sides and glued straight on without any foam. And we're kind of getting picky for being right at the end here, but that's what happens to me every stinking time. Okay, now I'm gonna go back, and I have some little small embellishments here, and I thought I might do a one of these arrows, and right there would be a nice place. We have one arrow going this way, another arrow going that way would be just perfect, don't you think? Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of unprofessionally here, and this is that nice thick Vicky Bouton mixed media paper, so it won't tear into a bigger hole. These embellishments, I think, came with Let's Wander. And the arrow is movable, which kind of makes it, I like having a movable element on the layout. Let me glue, there's some teeny tiny little jet planes here, and I'd like to have those kind of flying around willy-nilly in the sky, looking like they need an air traffic controller. So just kind of lay that down. There's just the tiniest things. And I have a plastic cover that protects my tabletop. And things kind of stick to it. So I had to actually kind of pry these off. That's not good. Okay, let me have this one pointing at an oddball angle, heading up that way. Another one down here. And after I get these placed, then that'll tell me where I need my Nuvo drops. And I'm going to use all these. We got these from Christina Sorge in one of our Palooza kits, I think, or with one of our shipments. Probably came with a travel-related set of cut files. Let's see, where else do I need a plane? Here's a plane going in the opposite direction of this arrow. How's that? And one more, and I'm going to kind of go here and point it out this way. There we go. And I have a couple stars. I think I have 3. Let me place those around. These are not part of the original design, but if you've got them and they're part of a kit that you did for a Rediscover Your Stash spending freeze, and also for How to Kill a Kit with Style, you got to use them, right? And who doesn't love little wood veneer stars? Okay, now I'm going to use the location of some of these natural dots to determine where I'm going to put this in. My instruction from Scrapping Amy is to kind of get it started on another sheet. Kind of do that. Now, theoretically, the little curly Q up at the top doesn't stay. It settles back down. And just so you know, it wouldn't bother me if it does stay. So I'm going to kind of do another, let that be a triangle. I lined these up a little bit too closely, so I'm going to do one right here. And maybe one there. And I'll go with one here. And there. And I think that's it. I think that, well, actually, right over in this area, I could use one maybe right there, and one here, and maybe one there. Okay, so that is it. I'm done. I'm happy with it. I have no use for this. It's from a previous Vicki Boutin collection. It is an arrow, but it doesn't really, I could use it, which is kind of the mode I'm in right now. If I were going to use it, I'd use it to cover this up, but then it's just kind of sticking out there with no other reason in life. Could I maybe scooch it down in here? Put it over there. Nah, I'll use it on another layout. It has come off of a sticker sheet, and I wanted to use it before it gets lost. Okay, so I'm happy with this. My photos are a little bit far down on the page. Oh, look, they have stars. too. And handwritten journaling. I will try to maybe write, you know what I can do is write where these, where and when these photos are. This is, let me write down, Paris in July of 15, and then South Dakota in August of 16. Okay, so there, I've got a little bit of my own handwriting on there, which I like to have on every layout. So I'm good with it. I love that this arrow is kind of freestanding, and that not everything is lined up like it is here. Not that I have anything against this. I would love to do a layout like that, but for my, specifically for the travel mood that I was going for. I've got this that's absolutely the wrong color, but it says can't wait to go back, and that would be nice to put just right under that, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I followed my heart and it led here is just another perfect little thing. I had the sticker sheet out, so I'd like to use something from it, but I think it's finished. So I will call it quits. I got the sunglasses in there. That's my summer theme. And I love, see how the little dots are rounding off perfectly? No little Hershey's Kisses kind of tail up at the top. So thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna cut the camera now and get this photographed and sent to Moira so she can put the link into the hop. So hope you enjoyed the hop, and I hope you enjoyed the Scrap Squad lift. Check out Scrap Squad on Facebook. There's a new lift every Friday, and they do special lifts for bank holidays and International Scrapbooking Day, things like that, Christmas time. And I do their Friday lift every Sunday as part of my Scrap Squad Sunday series. And I'm very new to CSI. This is the first month I've solved any of their cases, but that's a fun group too, where you can pick up the color story or pick any of these patterns or get any ideas, put a cactus on your page about or have some photos of a trip to the desert or something like that. So anyway, enjoy the hop. I hope you check out Mercy Tiara's Inspiration YouTube hop, Maura O'Reilly. Look her up on Facebook and she'll have links to it. I think she's starting it out, and I am gonna, as soon as Maura does the final list, I will include a list to everybody else who's in the hop in my video description of this video. So thank you for watching. Catch you next time. Bye.